Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Shadi and today I'm going to be doing a video about 5 boy names I absolutely love but won't be using. And also I'll be telling you guys the name we actually did choose, so we're gonna reveal the baby's name. What goes into picking your baby's name? There's a lot of things that come to mind for me when trying to choose a name for my child. The first thing I think about is I have an Iranian background, so I have to think about if my family can actually pronounce the name that I love. And then I also have the thought of I work with kids, you meet a lot of people throughout your life, and it's hard not to make associations to people when you hear a name. So I don't know if you've heard the saying, but you don't realize what you think of people's names, or you don't realize what you think of names until you have to pick a name for your kid because you make associations. So I might like a name that my husband might not like because he associates it to somebody, or vice versa. So just putting that out there. I love a lot of names, but sometimes it's hard not to make associations to people. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I don't want to drag this video out too long, but I've been wanting to do one of these videos because I watch these all the time just to get ideas, because boy names I think are some of the hardest names to pick. I mean, if we were having a girl, I have literally a list of 20 names that I love, but for boy names I was kind of limited, but I do like a certain amount of names for boys that I won't be using, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you why I like them. So the first name I absolutely love is the name Miles. I think Miles is such a cute boy name, and I think it goes perfectly with our daughter's name Mila, so it would be like Mila and Miles. But like I said, I kind of ran this name by some of our family members, and for some reason they had a really hard time pronouncing the name Miles. They kind of dragged it out, Miles. Then it kind of turned me off to the name. Originally, I love it. I work with kids, like I said before, and I've met a few Miles that are super cute. I always thought the name was really cute, but I got turned off to it hearing some of the family members, and then also their opinions. One thing I wanted to mention is with our daughter and with the baby that we're having now, we didn't throw out the name that we really wanted to use because we didn't want to get anybody's opinions, because everyone will always have some sort of opinion about the name you're going to choose. So we're like, you know what? Some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it, but we're just going to straight up announce and say this is our baby's name, because you can just keep your comments to yourself at that point. Nobody's gonna come tell you oh, I hate that name, once you already have said that that is gonna be your baby's name. So we just flat out said, this is the baby's name, which I'll be telling you guys later. But we never said, hey, what do you think about this name? Because once you say, what do you think about this name, you're gonna get hundreds and hundreds of opinions, and it's just gonna turn you off. If you love the name, stick to it and just put your foot down and be like, that's the name. Anyways, on to the next one. The next name I absolutely loved, and my husband loved too, was Maximus. We think it's such a strong masculine name, and it really is. But the one thing is, we were looking for a name that was more kind of cultural, or has more of an ethnic background. And Maximus was absolutely a really cool, strong, masculine name, but we figured that most people weren't going to be calling him Maximus, and we like the full name Maximus, so that it was going to be turned into Max or Maxie, which is also really cute, but we didn't want that name. We wanted more of just the strong, full Maximus. So we went ahead and skipped on that name, but I think that's a really cool name. The next name that I picked was the name Kayden. For some reason, that kind of just reminds me of, this is gonna take me back to my childhood. It kind of reminds me of a Mortal Kombat name. It just like sounds really strong and really masculine again. But one reason we didn't pick this name is because my husband's nephew, or my nephew, his middle name is Kayden, so we didn't want to go ahead and like take that name again too. But I just absolutely love that name. You don't really hear a lot of kids called or named Kayden, so I think that's a really cool, unique name to have. But again, we went ahead and skipped on that name. The fourth name I really, really love is the name Aria, which is comes from the Iranian culture, and it's a boy's name in the Iranian culture. But lately, I've been hearing a lot of people naming their daughters Aria, and I just didn't want to name my son Aria like in a time when most girls are going to be called or named Aria. So I just went ahead and skipped that one, but I just think that has such a beautiful sound to it, Aria. And it would also go really nice with Mila, so Mila and Aria. But again, my reasoning behind it is the fact that a lot of people are naming their daughters that these days, but I've known a lot of Arias growing up that are men, and I've always loved the name. I always thought it was, you know, such a beautiful name. Okay, so my fifth and final name that I absolutely love but won't be using is the name Presley. I think it is such a unique name. It's so cute. It would totally go well with our last name, so Presley Panah. I just really love the name because I kind of try to associate it with like Mila and Presley, and then we have our dog Bentley, so I thought that would like sound really cute. But it kind of just didn't have enough of like that ethnic, cultural sound to it for me, so that's why I'm skipping out on it. But I absolutely think it's such an amazing, unique name, and maybe if we have more kids, I'll pick one of these names for the next baby. But for now, we do have a name that we've actually picked and fallen in love with. And like, if you have watched any of my other videos, I get to pick the baby's name this time around because my husband picked Mila's name. And for me, this was extra sentimental because, like I've mentioned before, I lost my brother and my dad and my grandfather all within a few years of each other over the past 2.5 to 3 years. So I did want to pick a boy's name that kind of was sentimental and reminded me of one of them. So I didn't have to put too much thought into this, but as soon as I thought of this name, I kind of knew that this was the name that I wanted. And so, drum roll, we're gonna be naming our son Cyrus. So the reason why I picked the name Cyrus is because my brother's name was Kurosh, which also translates to the name Cyrus, which was a great king of Iran. So I think it has a really strong sound to it. It also ties in with my brother. And then also it's a name that can be easily pronounced in English, like kids at school can say it, and it's a name that all my family can say. So all around, like, this was a no-brainer for us. Like, we love the name. There's not too many people I know named Cyrus. I grew up with a few Cyruses at school, but I haven't, like, working at a school now, working at an elementary school, I come across so many names, and I haven't really heard anyone named Cyrus. And I thought it's really cool to have this unique name that's both, you know, Iranian and can be translated into English, and that ties in with my brother and my family background. So it's just like, it's just an all-around perfect name, I think, for our family, Mila and Cyrus. And big bonus is Mila knows how to say it already, which is like something I really wanted to make sure Mila can pronounce her brother's name. So that is our name for our baby boy, and we're so excited for him to come into this world. I know we still have quite some time. I'll be 24 weeks pregnant in 2 days. So we still have time, but we're so excited for little baby Cyrus to join our family. And yeah, I really hope you guys liked this video. I hope you guys maybe got some ideas of the 5 names I do love but won't be using. And if you guys have any comments or questions, go ahead and leave them down below. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn on that bell notification. All right, guys, thank you so much for following along on my journey, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.